going to talk about what we considered in its development, its contents, and the reasons underlying them. Thank you. Okay, thanks. I'm also going to give a short update towards the end on what's been happening since we published the guide in 2009. So I've only got a very few statistics, but they mirror very much, of course, what else we've been hearing all day from the other countries. The total UK, out of a total population of about 61 million, each year about 650,000 people turn 65. We've now over 10 million aged more than 65. More people aged over 60 than under 18. Over a third of the population is already over 50. And 1.3 million are aged 85 or over. And also an interesting figure, there are now, in fact, more than 12,000 centenarians. I actually find that word quite difficult to say in English, but it's obviously going to be a word that we're going to become more familiar with, i.e. people who are 100 or more years old. So this is going to be also a growing number of people. So libraries can have a very central role in enriching life for people, including older people. So we must ask ourselves, are public libraries geared up for the increasing numbers of older people? And what good practice has been developing? So the background to our good practice guide is that in 2007, following the first library seminar in some time to look at the needs of older people, John Vincent and I were commissioned by the UK Department of Health to produce a good practice guide on libraries' work with older people, because they were already convinced of the idea that keeping people active through libraries and through other things is a very good preventative measure so that people won't get sick and end up in the hospital. And John Vincent, my co-author, he established something in the UK called the Network, which is for libraries, and he has a long background in social inclusion in libraries. And I had been developing work with older people in my role then as access librarian at Gloucestershire Libraries. And I was also influenced by a recent Churchill Travelling Fellowship, where I went to study the development of services to older people in Canada and in the Netherlands. And we wanted a guide that would be useful in a practical and appealing way to library staff working directly with older people. Something I want to say right at the beginning is that although we're talking about older people, every older person, just like the rest of the population, is an individual with their own preferences, and other people have mentioned this. So why should libraries work with older people? Well, one impetus is, as of course, everybody's mentioned a lot of these things, is the post-war baby boom people are now entering the older population en masse. And libraries will need to appeal to this very high expectation group. Many libraries already have a good record in terms of their work on social inclusion and meeting the needs of people who are socially isolated, as many older people can be. For example, by providing stimulating activities, which can also bring health benefits and reduce depression. A great strength of public libraries, as we see it, is that people visit them of their own accord. They're not sent there by social services, although social services can be very helpful in promoting public libraries. And being at the forefront of social inclusion work gives libraries an opportunity to promote themselves and all of their work, and libraries these days in many of our countries need as many friends as they can get, so it's a good opportunity for promotion. But older people's needs are often complex and require a holistic approach to make a positive